Hi guys, this is Lada from astrolada.com and I'm here with your October 2017 videos. But this October I'm going to focus on one exceptional astrological event. This is Jupiter changing signs, moving from Libra into Scorpio. And these videos are not going to be just for October. You can watch them all up till November 2018 because all this time for around 12 months, Jupiter will be in a new sign. So this video will be your guiding light for the next 12 months. So come back to them. And this is tremendous event, one of the most important astrological events this year, and like every year when Jupiter transit signs. And because it shifts your luck, it shifts your opportunities totally. And now the water and earth signs will be kind of manifesting more powerfully. Jupiter is moving into Scorpio, where it's going to be very strong. Till now, the last 1 year, Jupiter was in Libra. It's not as strong in Libra because it's a sign where Jupiter does not do so well in. And not only that, but in the last 1 year, Jupiter was making a lot of challenging aspects to Uranus, to Pluto. So it's even if it manifested, and it does manifest because Jupiter is the bringer of opportunities. If it manifested, it was with more challenges, with more surprises, with more effort, so to speak. But this year, Jupiter being in Scorpio, where it's very strong, it's in a sign that it loves to be in. It's very strong in Scorpio because Mars, that rules Scorpio, is a friend of Jupiter. And not only that, but it's really helped the whole 2018 by positive aspects only. Saturn is in a good relationship to Jupiter. Saturn will be in Capricorn. If you want to figure out, basically, to know the astrology, Saturn in Capricorn as well, but also Pluto and Neptune will be in good aspects to Jupiter, so it has no challenging aspects. So it's gonna give abundance and bounty in a positive, easy way. So we're gonna go through all the 12 signs. And by the way, join me on the 21st of October, me and a group of amazing astrologers, at least 5 or 6. We're gonna be doing a astrology marathon live. If you can't be present live, it's gonna be Saturday, but if you can't make it, you can watch it after that as a recording. We're gonna do the most important astrological events from 2018 to 2021, like Saturn conjunct Pluto, Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter in Scorpio, the eclipses, Venus retrograde in Scorpio, Mars retrograde in Aquarius and Capricorn, all the big events. It's an astrological bonanza, astrological marathon. I'm super excited. We're going to have a peek into the next 3 years ahead. And by the way, this Jupiter in Scorpio now, so all those videos, it's general. You know, we're going to go through each sign, but it is general. And if you want more specifically to know about Jupiter, how it's going to impact you, like a professional astrologer outlook from your ascendant, from the specific house cast, join me on the 30th of September live, or watch after that the recording of Jupiter in Scorpio webinar. And I'll show you how to exactly predict what opportunities will be coming in your horoscope according to the degrees in your horoscope, according to the planets. And Jupiter will be affecting other signs, not only Scorpio, but 2 other signs will manifest powerfully in the coming 1 year because of the playing together with Saturn. So join me to find out more in-depth information. So Aries, how will your fate and fortune change from October 2017 till November 2018 with Jupiter moving into your 8th house? Now let's quickly recapitulate what happened to Aries, whether it's your ascendant. I would always advise check your ascendant. It shows the most tangible results. Also check your moon because it shows emotionally how you're impacted. In India, for example, they always check the moon sign. In the Western world, we check the sun sign. Everyone is familiar with the sun sign because we're Western society tends to be more masculine oriented, and the sun sign shows very powerfully predictions from the sun sign, but always check the ascendant one as well. Okay, so in the past 1 year, Jupiter was in our 7th house. Here is the symbol of Jupiter. Here's the 7th sign from Aries, which was in Libra, basically. And if this is Aries, the 7th, exactly opposite is Jupiter. So As you said, Jupiter was a bit too dramatic. Wow, it was in Libra because of the difficult aspect it was making to Pluto and to Uranus. So, yes, indeed, Jupiter must have brought opportunities and new beginnings in regards to your personal relationships, in regards to your marriage, in regards to your business partnerships. But some of them might have been a bit shocking, a bit traumatic, like Uranus and Pluto are. They're the gods of change that act with a heavy hand and they don't care. And look back at it. I'm Aries Sun, but you might be Aries Ascendant or Aries Moon. What did the last 1 year brought you? Did it bring new relationships? Any close one-to-one relationships? New business partnerships? That definitely happened to me. It could have cleared, because when Jupiter enters a sign, it restarts a new 12-year cycle. So it needs to clear up the ground first. So it might have cleared in the last 12 months. Some old relationships might have, Jupiter has a liberating influence, might have liberated you from some contracts or from some partnerships or some agreements, which might have felt a little bit more, how do I say, like burdening for you, because Jupiter is a liberating planet of, that wants to make things easier and better. Even if it was a bit of a shock, a bit of a drama for you, you realize that actually what happened in regards to personal or business relationships is quite rejuvenating, and is going to be for good, and it's going to impact you for the next 12 years. So some of you might have, for example, I got married, seventh house, the house of marriage. Jupiter in the seventh from my son brought me marriage, but it also brought me a separation from a previous relationship as well. So it clears up the old and brings in the new. And also it brought in a lot of new business partnerships for me and collaborations with other astrologers. And also it interrupted an important business partnership for me, but it turned out to be for the best as well. So you see how Jupiter in the seventh, it might have increased your audience. It might have increased your, if you're in business of some sort where you have to give and receive clients, seventh house is other people. It's the marketplace where you exchange goods with others, services or talents or whatever. So it might have increased that, the increase, because Jupiter is a planet of opportunities and increasing things and bringing more of those things. Also, Jupiter in Libra was all about creating balance in your relationship, seventh house. Libra is about balance and having the right, how do I say, correcting. Libra is a corrective sign because it's represented by in the tarot as the judgment card. Libra is a sign of with the scales there, it's always represented in court cases. That the sign of Libra is there, judging with the, it wants to be impartial and to bring fair and equal conditions. So if there was some unfair or unequal conditions in your relationships, maybe you are the one creating them, or maybe your partner was the one not treating fairly business-wise or personal, in your personal relationship. And Jupiter and Libra came to correct and equalize that. It might have done it in a way that is not so pleasant, or in a very pleasant way. It might have brought new relationships, removed old ones. So that's what Jupiter and Libra must have been doing for you. Just recap and think about that. And also brought opportunities to you through others, through relationships of some sort. Okay, maybe foreign people or new people being in your life, new collaborations. But Jupiter is moving from October 2017 till November 2018 here in your 8th house. So what does it mean, guys? And it's going to be in the sign of Scorpio. And by the way, Scorpio has the same energy as the 8th house, because the houses derive their meaning from the signs that they're connected to. Just like Aries, is the 1st house, but because if you're Aries, your 8th house will have the energy of Scorpio already. And Jupiter going there is like a double one. It's like Aries will feel this Jupiter and Scorpio very powerfully, especially with its scorpionic meaning. And Scorpio and the 8th house is all about big transformations. And these are life-changing, identity-changing transformations. And not only that, but look, Scorpio and Aries are ruled by the same planet. In traditional astrology, we're talking the visible planets. Of course, there is a new ruler of Scorpio, which is Pluto, but it's more psychological. While the visible things of Aries, of Scorpio, are ruled by Mars still. And Mars also rules Aries. So the destiny of Aries is very strongly interconnected with their eighth house because of the rulership of the same house, planet over it. And eighth house, and the first house is your path in life, your personality, your social personality, and generally your whole life and fate, basically. And the fate of Aries definitely is connected very strongly with the eighth house, and it's going to be triggered this year, which means eighth house about big life transformations, and because it's connected to the first house, it might be big appearance transformation. For example, the first house is your appearance. Eighth house is huge transformations that Jupiter facilitates that happen to you over the next 12 months. It might be a huge transformation of your social personality identity. And not only physical, but some kind of how you present yourself, how you your level in the social, your social level basically in society can transform in a powerful way that you never expected. And because eighth house, this has this element and Scorpio of unpredictability, of something that surprises you, something that is very because Scorpio is about something that's hidden from you, you're not aware of, and then all this powerful potential gets revealed to you over the next 12 months. So there'll be huge, some of you, it might increase, definitely it will increase for Scorpio, the speed and the number, because Jupiter is about increasing, expanding, the number of life transforming and life changing circumstances. It might happen through some crisis though, because the eighth house has the energy of crisis. And it should not worry you though, because Jupiter instigates those life transforming crises and big changes in life, psychological, emotional, physical. And because of Jupiter triggering it, it means the final result will be for good. For example, it has a house of death. So someone might pass away, or the house of destruction, you know, so someone might leave your life, but because of, and divorce and death and, you know, operations, such kind of everything that's on the edge there. Such event happens, and I'm not saying it has to happen, it's the most extreme case, but it will bring something very positive, life transforming. For example, you can receive like inheritance. Eighth house rules inheritances as well, because someone passes, or because there is a divorce, you might receive a big settlement. Or if you're expecting money, because divorce might have happened, say, years ago, but now Jupiter enters your eighth house, which rules other people's resources to you. And the eighth house is big transformational events, but because Jupiter brings good things through that. So maybe you can get like settlement. Maybe if you're in some court battle, you can receive a money settlement now. Money can come to you from partner X to current partner. Your partner can increase their money as well. For example, your partner might start making a bigger salary, bringing home, or you can start making more money through your clients, because eighth house is a financial house, but it's the resources that comes to you through other people, whether it's your clients, business partners, whether it's your marriage partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, long-term. You know, Jupiter will expand the resources that come to you, mutual resources. Say your bank, by the end of this Jupiter staying in the eighth house, you can definitely see that, say by next November, that your mutual bank account with your partner has doubled, for example, or that you've received new incomes that come to you from others. Maybe someone support you, maybe government type stipend, or maybe just money that you haven't worked for, but it comes to you from others. So maybe your clients double up, or you increase your prices and clients are paying more for that, but again, the money comes to you through others. So maybe a business partner or a business partnership that you initiated while Jupiter was in Libra comes to bring financial results now. So this is increased. Whatever Jupiter touches is increased. You know, so resources from others, money from others, settlements that come to you through either through taxes. Maybe you can receive some tax rebate. For example, eighth house is also that. Maybe some tax break you can receive. Maybe, you know, your partner receiving more money. That's another thing, as I said. Business partnership bringing more money. And another thing is that, as I said, eighth house has this a bit more intense connotations, of big transformations, but eighth house and Scorpio are the most healing and therapeutical signs. But the transformation happens invasively, because Mars rules it, and Scorpio has the sting. And invasively, it's like therapeutic healing that can come through surgery, for example. You can have some surgery that heals you. Eighth house is the house of conception. So conceptions are much easier, and births, because eighth house is the house on the brink between life and death. The eighth house is where you come to the edge of death, so situations like operations are like that situations, but it brings transformations and healing, because Jupiter is a positive planet. And not only that, but it brings more abundance somehow. Another invasive transformation might be childbirth. Giving is the eighth house, so for some of you, you might be experiencing childbirth, for some of you, or conception. Or if you're trying to conceive but you've been having difficulties, now is the time when Jupiter is in the eighth house. As you know, eighth house has the connotation of sexual energy as well, and potency, and Jupiter expands that. If you're trying to get pregnant through IVF, IVF is a kind of invasive operation. Again, it's kind of, invasive, and it's about rebirth, regeneration, death and rebirth. This is the themes of the eighth house. Jupiter in the eighth house will allow it. For example, you can get pregnant through IVF if you're trying to. Also, you can have a say plastic operation that transforms you and your sense of who you are, because connected to the first house, transforms your destiny. Or you can, for example, it can play out in all those different ways. So you can have deep therapeutical healing. It doesn't have to be in some dramatic way through a death of someone or something like that. It's just Jupiter in the eighth house allows, because Jupiter is an allowing planet, facilitating, permissive planet for big healing transformations. If you've been waiting for a healing, and healing doesn't necessarily need to be physical. Healing, I've seen miracles happen when Jupiter is in the eighth house, because the eighth house is the house that allows us to, it's like the bridge from this reality to the other reality. The eighth house rules the basically those apertures and holes in the aura, which are called chakras, which connect the physical body and the physical experience of us with the invisible worlds. So through these apertures, as we call them, the chakras, and it rules all the holes in the body anyway, like the anus and blah blah blah. That's why it's connected to sexual things as well, but also the chakras, because they're not physical, but they're spiritual apertures and holes in the body. So Jupiter starts spinning faster when it's in the eighth house, those chakras, so to speak, that connect you from one reality to another. So Jupiter can facilitate like experience of the invisible world, miraculous healings of some sort that channel divine Kundalini energy, or awaken your Kundalini energy, because the eighth house rules the Kundalini energy, that makes the chakras speed up and rotate faster and awakens the chakras. So they can be, for those of you who are more spiritual, they can be awakening of chakra. They can be healings that you've been hoping for a long time, but they haven't happened, physical, emotional. Say, eighth house rules all traumas that are stuck in just like Scorpio is a sign of frozen emotions, it's water sign, but it's fixed water sign. So it rules those traumas that we're carrying from past lifetimes. So say you were abused mentally or emotionally as a child, or from a relationship, and we're stuck. Emotionally, it's stuck in our body. It can manifest as illnesses or whatever. Or it can manifest as fear of intimacy. That's a big thing with Scorpio in the eighth house. Fear of intimacy, or fear of letting someone for a deep healing transformational relationship. And Jupiter entering the eighth house, one of the things that can happen is facilitating sexual healing. There is such a thing as sexual healing, and this can happen to you, yay. And there is Jupiter will allow much deeper intimacy with another. If there were some sexual blockages in your life, Jupiter transiting in the eighth house removes those sexual barriers. If there were some sexual blockages with a loved one, romantic partner, it removes them. If there were some fears about intimacy, big fears, Jupiter in the eighth house removes them. Jupiter spins also those chakras, so and it expands them, so you can have miraculous healings of physical problems by releasing those intense emotions. As I said, Jupiter is about releasing a lot, and releasing emotional trauma, psychological trauma that has built up, or inner fears, which are ruled by the eighth house, or inner battle with inner demons. Eighth house rules obsessions, anything that we are kind of really afraid of, but we're obsessed with. It might be an addiction, it might become something compulsive, obsessive, it might be a person that has power or control over us, because eighth house rules power of others over us. And Jupiter comes here and allows us to remove or to heal this pain, this psychological trauma, spinning the chakras, throwing out all this, frozen feelings and emotions that have been keeping us emotionally frozen or emotionally fearful, or a battle if we've had with our inner demons, whether it's for addiction, whether it's for someone controlling us. We become fearless, less fearful, because the eighth house is the darkness. Just like Scorpio has that energy, it's dark, and Jupiter rules knowledge, and Jupiter rules light. So it's like you're going into your biggest cellar of your subconscious, where you are afraid, where there are probably clowns or spiders or whatever, your biggest fears, traumas, painful situations. You're going there, you're bringing and you're carrying of higher knowledge, so you're no longer afraid of that space. So there is clearing of cobwebs, clearing of old feelings that is making you stuck. There is clearing, healing on the psychological, emotional. Actually, miraculous healing can happen. I've seen this with Jupiter transiting the eighth house from the ascendant twice, and I think once from the moon, but also check from your sun sign, because miraculous healings are about, I remember when there was Jupiter transiting the eighth sign from my ascendant, there was a powerful healing of pain that was in me for 15 years that I've been keeping. And it's just went over one day. And that's what Jupiter can do. It gives powerful transformation that's miraculous, that can happen over one day, that can heal you from addictions, that can heal you from certain physical pains, from certain physical or emotionally difficult situations. It's like almost like you've been carrying this burden of deep feelings, and before they disappear, they can be like a big crisis psychologically that happens to you. Jupiter spins up all those chakras, they start clearing the old muck, they start connecting you to invisible potency of healing, which is the higher manifestation of Scorpio that you access through the chakra spinning faster. And this Kundalini energy that starts rising in you heals you and spins your life around. And it can be caused by outer experiences. For example, falling deeply in love with someone else, or kind of, or having a deep spiritual realization of some sort, a deep occult experience, or maybe something dramatic, something drastic, something life-changing that happens. It might be a divorce, it might be a childbirth, it might be a operation, or it might be end of something, the beginning of something new. And because of that, there is this total release of piled up energy and pain energy that gets transmuted into healing, into healing energy. So yes, that's very interesting. So the money can increase in your life through others, especially the healing, the sexual healing can come to you, psychological healing. You can benefit through disasters, and they not necessarily have to be happening in your life. They might be happening in the life of someone else, or economic disaster or whatever. You'll be the one that manages to benefit from that. And you're bringing this light of knowledge into the darkness of the eighth house, into your biggest fears, into your biggest demons. You're winning a battle with the inner demon of yours that's been holding you, whatever, or some outer demon that has control over you, not through physical power or not through willpower of any sort. You're winning this battle. You've probably been battling this battle for many years with willpower, and it doesn't work. Through sudden illumination, through higher power, Jupiter rules all those things, through sudden healing, through sudden realization, higher knowledge of some sort, which releases you from the hold of those darker energies or those inner demons. This is amazing, isn't it? Aren't you getting goosebumps? I mean, Aries, how Jupiter can transform your life, basically, when it's in the 8th house. And the 8th house has such dark connotations, and it can be a bit painful, but the process is fast. And within a couple of months, sometime throughout those next 12 months, you can be just a new person after that. You'll be on the next level. You can be on the next level spiritually, like have spiritual awakening. 8th house Jupiter facilitates that, to have miraculous experiences, to awaken occult abilities. So you can get super interested in higher knowledge connected to secrets, to occult information, like astrology rules the 8th house, psychology. You might benefit a lot, and you might develop a strong interest and pull towards astrology, towards the occult, towards exploring the secrets and mystery of the universe. You know, psychologists that, astrology that does that. Many other disciplines do that. You might find great fascination with hidden secretive topics like life after death. You can have revelations about your life through exploring such darker topics like life after death, maybe even getting in communications with people that have passed by. Or 8th house also rules interest in the occult, in conspiracies, in the criminal, and 8th house rules all secrets. So there is a light is shining on big secrets. They might be your secrets. I'm not saying you're exposing your secrets, but you have bigger access to secrets that can transform your life. And you can also notice that a lot of very confidential secret information comes to you in your life over the next year, you know, while Jupiter is in Scorpio. Let's see, what else does Scorpio rule? We said transformational healings. We said reversals in life, but they're for the good, as I said, and it happens quite fast with Jupiter there. Brings knowledge about things you're afraid of, like death, like your inner fears, like traumas, and release from that, and healing. Yeah, and inheritances or resources that come to you through others. It's good time, if you're an Aries, to go and find a good tax lawyer or whatever, taxation lawyer. They can help you with great wisdom and knowledge, which is what Jupiter rules, to do your taxes better, wiser, in a way that you make more money, you know. And there is greater access and permission into secrets, into occult. If you're in any career which is 8th house career, you will thrive in the next 12 months. What are 8th house careers? Scorpio careers. Surgeons, midwives, people that are bereavement counselors, psychologists, astrologers, people in the occult, people that are plumbers, 8th house rules the underground water, people that are archaeologists digging underground, people that are psychologists, people that are miners, people that are digging for resources underneath, people, sexologists, people that work with others who are going through big transformations in their life and crisis, or crisis management. Anyone who is in crisis of some sort will, if you're working with anyone that is in crisis, or your situation involves crisis management or emergency of some sort, your career will benefit in a big way. Or dealing with secrets or other people's resources and finances. If you're a banker, if you are advisor for people's private resources, or for people, financial advisor, you will thrive, your business will expand. I can't think of other 8th house careers, but there are a lot of those. I hope I mentioned all of them, but also it's good time, if you're an Aries ascendant, sun or moon to a lesser degree, to ask for help from others, because you'll receive it. 8th house is the moral and financial support that comes to us from other sources. Open yourself to it, because Jupiter brings better access and opportunities to have access to those other resources. Ask for support, ask for help. They will increase your own resources, your own stability, your own, finances. And also there is a higher understanding and higher acceptance of big crisis, and higher tolerance, because Jupiter expands the tolerance about, things that are connected to the 8th house, which is big transformations, crisis, reversals, big changes, and you're welcoming them, and you're excited about them, and you have higher confidence to deal with them, and tolerance. Anyway, that's for you, Aries. And by the way, in October specifically, let's quickly say a few sentences. Just in October, that's for the whole year ahead, but just in October, Jupiter is in your, just in October, there is a strong focus in the seventh house. Venus, Mercury, the Sun, one after another, will be in your seventh house. So there will be a lot of focus on relationships, on collaborating with others. Maybe some of you might meet an important partner, a life partner, business partner. So your biggest strength for your Aries in October comes through others, collaborating, trying to, I know it's difficult for Aries because Aries likes to do things on their own. But this is your strength in October, guys. And as you know, the whole next 12 months, Jupiter in the 8th house is also connected to other people, more to their resources and how they can help you. So reach out to those, because this is where your source of wealth and abundance and growth will be. And not only that, but yes, there's definitely financial increase coming to you by collaborating with others for the next 12 months. So thank you so much. And hope to see you on the 30th of September for the extended Jupiter in Scorpio. We'll do it like the professional astrologer, specifically how it affects your horoscope, not this general stuff. Or come on the 21st of October to see our live free astrology marathon on the astrology till 2021. Wow, I'm so excited. Love you.